Howdy, hey everybody! My name is CJ, the solo dev here at Rosewood Studios, and you can probably tell by the background change, we're working on another game. I have joined 2026's Cozy Spring Game Jam by Virtual Turtle Games. It is a 3-day long game jam, and sadly, it took place in a spot where I was going to be very busy. So please forgive me for cheating just a tiny bit. What I did was recorded all of my working time and made sure it lined up for 3 days worth of work. I've seen a lot of crocheters do this when they do 24-hour challenges. They will time the work that they have done and make sure it adds up to 24 hours. So that is what I did. I timed my work and made sure it added up to 3 days worth. I did this because the game jam runs from April 30th to May 3rd. Now, if you run in the same rings that I do, you know that the 4th of May is a holiday for some of us. For me, it is in the fact that it is May Day, and I'm going to be busy around that time frame. And I can hear y'all now.
CJ, why didn't you just skip the game jam then if you were busy?
Because I wanted to participate in the game jam. I've been in a funk and I needed something to get me out of that game creation funk. All of my long-term projects have been put on the back burner or into the trash bin. RIP, Beyond the Stars. You've been put in the recycle bin. Sadly, that is what started my channel, and I've put it in the recycle bin. And what I mean by that is I will probably come back to it, but not likely. So I needed something to get me out of that funk. I saw the jam, I saw the theme, and I wanted to participate. I got an idea and I had to execute it. So I tallied up my time and I made it work. And I didn't want to lose out on having fun with my family as well on the first weekend of May. And as a farmhand, I don't have a lot of free time anymore. So just working ahead and tallying up the time was the most efficient way to do it. But with all that out of the way, here is everything I got done in that 3-day time span and what the game is about. The shortest way I can probably put this is that Ostra is a game about reincarnation, rebirth, the meaning of spring in general. The name Ostra comes from the pagan holiday, which I will talk more about later in the video. And the main character, Aaron, is your love interest. You as the player are returning to your childhood home for the spring festival, the garden festival, and you bump into your longtime childhood best friend, Aaron. But, Aaron's got a little bit of a secret, and that is, he is a, 1,000-year-old deity of the festival, and he doesn't really want to let you leave, because he's sick and tired of you, the player, constantly being reincarnated. That's right, it is the player that is being reincarnated, and I will explain later what that whole story is a reference to, because it is a reference to a real-life story. But character design-wise, Aaron and his Ostra design actually came from a scrapped Virgo design from Beyond the Stars, my first game project that sadly has been put on the shelf. So I had something to work off of. If you've seen my Virgo design, she's very pretty. Originally, Beyond the Stars was meant to be a gay dating sim, so they were all meant to be men. I make games for the girls and the gays. I'm sorry. I rarely design female characters, but I probably should. I have some really good designs like Aries and Virgo and Pisces, so I should probably reuse those designs, maybe. So almost all of the UI is done. I got text box, name box, backgrounds. I need to go back into Strawberry Darling's code and figure out how I got those little things on the side. If not, I'll just leave it be, have your save load, that kind of stuff still on the bottom instead of on the side like Strawberry Darling. Also, if you're new to the channel, go play Strawberry Darling. It was my first ever dating sim. This will be my second ever dating sim. For all those who are not new and are like, what happened? What happened to Beyond the Stars? What happened to Blue Hour? What happened? What happened to your previous games? 1. Blue Hour was scrapped, put in the recycle bin, because I had zero motivation to work on it. I didn't like where the story was. It was meant to be a spiritual successor to Strawberry Darling that was blueberry themed, and it didn't work, in my opinion. Maybe it'll work as its own game. Maybe I'll bring Blue Hour back, but, yeah. So that was put in the recycle bin. Beyond the Stars, I overscoped so hard that I also lost motivation over it. And I think the same thing is happening with All Ships at the Velvet Brew. That I've put on the back burner. Blood Pact is put on the blood burner? The back burner. Ostra is right now my main focus because it's a game jam, of course. And Strawberry Darling is still the only game I've ever finished. Also for a game jam that I never submitted it to. I didn't know how game jams work. To be fair, it was my first ever game jam. I now know how submissions work. I jumped the gun and posted it before submissions were open. That was another problem. I messed up when I was meant to be working on Strawberry Darling, and because when I joined the jam, it was 14 days before the jam started, I did not realize that when I joined, it perfectly matched up how long the jam was meant to be running. So Strawberry Darling was made before the jam even begun. And I posted it on itch before submissions were open. Safe to say, 2027 Yandere Game Jam, I will be resubmitting Strawberry Darling. I will be submitting the remastered version, people. Yes. I just drank an energy drink. I'm getting energy all of a sudden. I will be submitting the remastered version of Strawberry Darling to the 2027 Yandere Game Jam. And hopefully seeing how, like, Freak Circus, Kingdom of Marionettes, all those other games that were submitted to the Yandere Game Jam, seeing how they've taken off. I'm hoping Ari gets a seat at the table, eventually. I'm hoping Ari gets a seat at the table. That would be freaking amazing. He already has some fans in my friend group. Like, every time I post artwork of him in the Discord, one of my friends just does the "My Shayla" thing. It's so freaking funny. But yeah, I am almost finished all of the UI. If I look in the folder here, I got the save backgrounds, I got the choice bars done, I got the menu. I need to fix the game menu because right now it's using the main menu screen, which has the Ostra logo on it, and we don't want that there. I have the name box, I have the text box, which I apologize for the text box in advance. I wanted it to look like an Easter basket, and it makes it a little bit hard to read, so I apologize. We also have the window icon, which is like it's a little egg. Like, you can't see it. It's a little egg in one of those little egg holders, because this is, for those of you who do not know, I probably explained this at the beginning. I'm recording this before I've actually started editing the video and doing the voiceover and stuff with my little Aquarius guy. For those of you who do not know, Ostra is a pagan holiday on the Sabbath wheel, and it is most commonly now known as Easter. It overlaps with the Christian holiday, but both are pretty much about the same thing. For the Christians, it's about Jesus coming back from the dead. For the pagans, it is about fertility and rebirth. Both are about rebirth. For the pagans, the egg and the rabbit symbolize fertility. Rabbits, we all know, have a love to breed. And the egg, of course, hatches and brings in new life. And the two nowadays overlap with each other. The meaning of Ostra was lost, but its symbols still hold. And instead, the meaning of it is now correlated to the Christians. So Easter is kind of a mixing pot holiday. Same with Christmas and Halloween and a lot of our other holidays. Those are also mixing pot holidays where we have the Christian meaning because it's the more localized meaning, while we have the symbolism of the pagan holidays. I myself am pagan. I was raised pagan, so that's why Ostra means so much to me. Happy Ostra to all of my other pagans. My mom keeps pronouncing it differently. She keeps pronouncing it like oyster. I pronounce it Ostra. So, tell me how you guys would pronounce it. And if you're curious, what I said about previously with the holiday mixing pot, Yule, Yuletide, the winter solstice is overlapped with what we know as Christmas, the birth of Christ to the Christians. For us pagan folk, if I remember correctly, it was the gift-giving holiday, but our symbols of the fern tree, the candles, the decorating of the tree carry over. And again, we have the Christian meaning with Christ and the birth of him. Halloween, thankfully, has not been taken over by the Christians, technically speaking. If I remember correctly, there are some who believe it to be the devil's birthday. Don't know why y'all are doing that. But for us, it was the day where the veil was the thinnest. And the spirits could come up and visit loved ones or play tricks on their loved ones. And with the tricky ones, the tricksters, you would have to wear a mask to hide yourself from them. It kind of gets a bad rap as a devil worshipping holiday because of the thin veil type thing, but it's not. It's a lot like the Day of the Dead in Mexico, in Mexican beliefs. Or if we go way back, the Aztec and Mayan beliefs. It's kind of the same thing. It's just different depending where you are. Just like how Christmas is different where you are. Some people have Krampus. We don't have Krampus here in the States. So, yeah, little holiday history about the Sabbath and the holidays. And maybe I'll do more games about the Sabbath based off of the Sabbath wheel or the yearly wheel. If people like Ostra. Ostra, I do want to clarify, and maybe I said this at the beginning of the video. Ostra is it's not the god Ostra in the game, Aaron, if you will, is not meant to be a substitute for the goddess. Well, that's not the goddess, that's the pentacle. I'll put a picture. The goddess. He's not meant to be a substitute for her, Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, the All-Mother. Like, he's not meant to be a substitute for her. I did not feel comfortable using gods of my own religion in the game. So I also am a stupid little gay boy and can only draw men. I can only draw twinks. I can draw femboys for some reason. So I'm kidding. I can draw women. I can draw beautiful curvy women. But that's besides the point. I wanted to make a male love interest. So instead of using the goddess or father-son, I decided to make Ostra itself a deity. And that's how we got Ostra / Erin. Is it Aaron or Erin? I don't know. That's how we got our main boy. Sorry. My mom was singing Island Boys a little while ago, so me saying main boy made me laugh. And I may do the same thing if I make other games based off of the Sabbath and use the name of the holiday for the deity the game is about, instead of the actual deities from my religion. Just a little clarification, because, again, if you know the pagan story, Mother Earth gives birth to, or becomes pregnant with, the sun every Ostra. She gives birth to him. They live, and come winter season, the sun dies. That's also the basis for the story Ostra is telling. If you haven't picked that up already, you, the main character, are the sun. You are reborn every 21 years, and you die come your 21st winter. So, I guess I did kind of keep the Mother Earth symbolism with Ostra, but I didn't... How many times have I said Ostra? I didn't, like, outright make him the same character in the mythology / religion. This was meant to be an update on where I am with the GUI. I'm pointing at my computer. The GUI. But it turned into a history lesson. So yeah. If you guys like this game, maybe I'll make more of them. Like, what's coming up? Let me grab my book and see what's coming up. Oh, it's backwards. So this is my book on the Sabbath. By Willow Paulson. This has been a very good, very knowledgeable book. And it's very old. My mom actually gave this to me when I started actually becoming interested in all of this. So, let me see, where's the wheel? It has some notations in here as well. Where's the wheel? There's cross stitch in here. Okay, we're gonna go to table of contents instead. So, from the first holiday in the Sabbath wheel to the last, we have Yule, or the winter solstice. Imbolc, which takes place between Yule and Ostra. The one that is coming up, actually, there's in like 3 weeks, is Beltane, which is May Day, or Walpurgis. Then we have Letha, which is the summer solstice, or midsummer. Really good movie, by the way. Midsummer? Really good movie. I can't read that word. Ahag na sai das. That was horrible pronunciation. I think I just summoned something. Kidding, that was my dog. Or Lamas. I haven't heard of that one before. but it takes place between the summer solstice and the fall equinox, which I guess would be Thanksgiving? I don't know. Mabon, harvest home or fall equinox, and then finally we have Samhain, Samhain, there's multiple ways of pronouncing it, or Halloween. So, let's be honest, I am not making a holiday. I am not making a game before May Day. But if you are also interested in paganism or just like learning about religion, this is a very good book. I don't know if it's in production anymore, but this is a very good book. And yeah, it has cross stitch in it. You can make a Sabbath blanket. I might use the cross stitching patterns to crochet something because they are really good. Let me... Oh look, here's the Ostra ones. Like, look at this little rabbit! Look how cute! I really like this. Yeah, maybe I'll make other holiday games. Maybe in honor of July 4th, I'll make one. Because when I was younger, I had a habit of making characters based off of the holidays. That's how I got my character Freddie Valentine, who I use in multiple different contexts. I used to have a character named Jubilee, and he represented the 4th of July. So maybe I'll bring Jubilee back, actually give him something to do. Kind of like how I gave Freddy a lot of screen time in my head. Like, he's my D&D character. I used him in multiple projects before. Yeah. Kind of like my character Riley, who just keeps getting reused. No, Riley is never gonna get his own game. Don't ask me. I know there's one person who might be watching this, who is my boyfriend, who might ask me. Riley's not ever gonna get his own game. He's got too crazy of a love life in his multiple iterations. Yeah, there's my update, and a history lesson. So at the time of recording this, the game is pretty much complete. All the art is in place, all the coding is in place, choices and endings have been lined up. The only thing I am missing right now is music, which I like to use Upbeat for. But I might try and find one track that can span the entire game. I'm not sure yet. It might take me a bit to find tracks that fit every scene in the game. Who knows? Maybe the music is going to be the longest part of this project, because writing didn't take that long. But yeah, at the time of me recording this, the game is pretty much done, and I'm very proud of myself. I have a little bit of time left on the counter, so hopefully I can get music done by then. My playtester, Actively Daydreaming, a fellow game dev, reported only one bug in her run, thankfully. I fixed it, and I decided to add a new CG art for when Aaron grabs you in one of the confession scenes. Outside of that, though, it seems like the game is done. It's pretty solid outside of Actively Daydreaming doing a quick proofreading of the script. If I have time, once I get that back, I'll edit down whatever I need to. And that's it. That is the entire devlog. I'm sorry this has been such a inactive devlog. I'm trying my best to get better at making these, but recording the writing and coding process is kind of boring, honestly. And I don't think you guys want to hear me talk over speed paints or my little Aquarius sprite all the time. So I try and mix it up, especially with me talking at the camera live where you can see my face. Ostra is out and available to play as we are speaking, and I hope you guys go and enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. I do have another game in the process at the moment of recording. It is called Sugar Veins, so look out for that devlog and that game eventually. If I had a nickel for every strawberry themed Yandere game I've made, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened twice. Anyway, all of my links for my supports are down in the description. Feel free to buy me a Ko-fi or play my game. Donations are not necessary, but are always acceptable. I have been CJ, the solo dev here at Rosewood Studios, wishing you all a blessed day. Adios.